Good morning, Kirby. This is RJ, back with another video, so let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day, from 1987, the World Series program. For whatever reason, Major League Baseball saw fit to include Mike Schmidt on this awesome collage of baseball greats. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why they chose this image, but thrilled that it's Mike Schmidt. I mean, you got Hank Aaron, legendary. Babe Ruth, legendary. Willie Mays, legendary. Jimmy Fox in the middle there, legendary. Reggie Jackson still playing at this time, I believe. He might have retired by the end of 1987. He went back with the A's. And then Mike Schmidt still playing, so really cool that he got on the cover. This is part of my Schmidt collection. 1987 World Series program. Today's random baseball item of the day. Stopped by my LCS this weekend. Picked up a really cool smattering of little sets and things that I'll show off over the week. First one from TCMA in 1980. TCMA. I have to look up the name, what that stands for. Maybe I'll splice it in here somewhere. But TCMA was a company that made a lot of different mini sets. I don't know if they have a license to do so, but they sure did. They were cranking them out in the 70s and 80s. And this one, little 12-card set called All-Time Dodgers. Now, I'm not sure how they determined who was an all-time Dodger, but these are the individuals that they included. Jim Gilliam, Gil Hodges, Pee Wee Reese. This is an older picture of Pee Wee. Obviously looks more like a coach than a player, that one. He looks really old. Well, not really old. Shoot, I'm old, but nice Jackie Robinson there. Sandy Koufax. Zach Wheat, Hall of Famer. Dixie Walker. Dixie Walker is interesting because Dixie Walker was one of the leaders of the guys who didn't want Jackie Robinson to play on the Dodgers when he was integrating. Dixie. Hugh Casey, Dazzy Vance, a Hall of Famer. Duke Snyder, interesting. Duke has the LA Dodgers. Almost everybody else is representing the Brooklyn Dodgers. Campanella and Walter Alston. Certainly Walter Alston could have, Pee-wee's got his LA cap on. That's why you know it's a coach. Certainly Walter Alston could have had a Los Angeles logo on, but he had a Brooklyn logo on. So that's it. It's a small little set. Basic bios on the back. Stats for the players. Lifetime lifetime record on the back. Basic stats. But this is from TCMA. Even says so here, TCMA 1980, and then the card number right after the date. Awesome little set that I'm happy to have. I got this was in like the $5 bin for sets for TCMA. So thrilled to have that little one in my collection. That is the random baseball item of the day. Today's trivia question. Interesting. This week what I'm going to do is famous incidents in baseball history and an obscure question surrounding that incident. So, there's a famous incident when Randy Johnson, pitching in a spring training game, threw a pitch that inadvertently struck and killed a bird that was flying across the path and they just intersected at the exact same moment. My question to you is, who was at bat when that pitch was thrown? That's your question. Send me an email with the correct answer. What you're playing for are two more cards from the Topps 2003 Gallery Hall of Fame edition. Hall of Famers Bobby Dorr and George Kell. Those are the two Hall of Famers you're playing for. You can get those if you send me an email with the correct answer to that question. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of the question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer. We will pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Good luck to everybody on that one. Today, I'm just going to show off another little set I picked up from my LCS this weekend. Another TCMA set kicked out in 1980. This one is celebrating, for whatever reason, the 1959 Los Angeles Dodgers championship team. So there are 40 cards in here. I'm assuming that everybody at one time or another was on had played for the 59 Dodgers, so that's why they're included in this set. A lot of names I barely recognize, but what are you going to do? Here you go. So Joe Pignatano, who was a catcher. Let's see how many games he had 52 games in 1959. Carl Furillo, very well-known Dodger, got 50 games at that time. Maybe he was winding down his career at that time. Bob Lillis was a utility infielder, got into 30 games. Chuck Esegian got into 24 games. Dick Gray, third baseman, got into 21 games. Rip Rapolsky, 53 games. So these are all the scrubs. I think they're starting off with all the scrubs. Jim Baxes, an infielder, utility guy. I guess he got into a total of 11 games for this team. But hey, you're on a World Series winner, pal. Frank Howard only got into 9 games. Frank Howard did back in '59. Solly Drake, an outfielder, another 9 games. Wow, they're just. I think this is anybody who ever appeared with the '59 Dodgers at any time. Sandy Amoros, well-known name. Maybe he got more playing time later on, but only 5 games back in 1959. Norm Sherry was a utility catcher. Only got into 2 games. Wow. Tommy Davis. Tommy Davis was a really good player, but he only got into 1 game that year in '59. Here's Jim Gilliam, utility infielder. But maybe not the utility because it says he was using 145 games, so he was no utility guy at this time. Duke Snyder's still in the prime of his career, 126 games. Maury Wills, 83 games. Don Demeter, 139 games. Wally Moon of Unibrow fame, 145 games. Johnny Roseborough, primary catcher, I believe, by this time, because Roy Campanella had become, incapacitated. 118 games for Johnny Roseborough. Ron Fairley, 118 games. Norm Larker, utility man, 108 games. Charlie Neal, an infielder, played almost every game, 151. Don Zimmer, look at Don Zimmer here, infielder. Zim got into 97 games that year. Charlie Dressen was a coach. Charlie Dressen, he was famously the man who came in 1947 when Leo DeRocher was suspended for a year for unseemly baseball activity. He was going to be the manager, but he was suspended for the year by the commissioner. And they looked, Branch Rickey looked around and found Charlie Dressen to be the manager that year. So, I don't know if it talks about this right here or not. Yeah. What is Charlie Dressen? No. He later coached Brooklyn from 39 to 46, and with the Yankees in 47. I must have my guy wrong. Maybe it wasn't Charlie Dressen. Maybe it was somebody else. I apologize for that. I have to look it up. Gil Hodges at first base still. A guy named Joe Becker was a coach. Here's your manager, Walter Alston. Gene Mullavey, a coach. Don Drysdale, young Don Drysdale. He went 17-13 that year. Johnny Padres of 55 fame, still with the Dodgers, went 14-9. Young Sandy Koufax just about to start out his amazing run in the 60s. Sandy Koufax went 8-6 that year. Roger Craig, 11-5. Roger Craig was a manager for the Giants back in the '89 World Series. Danny McDevitt, 10-8. Bill Harris, Only pitched an inning and a two-thirds, 1 2/3 innings. Bill Harris. Only pitched a total of 8.2 innings ever. So that's a rare card, a rare player to have on a card right there. Larry Sherry. Larry Sherry went 7-2 that year. Stan Williams. Stan was 5-5 that year. Clem Labine, 5-10, had a losing record. Yuck. Chuck Churn, that's a hell of a name. Chuck Churn. Went 3-2. That was his really, came back for some more next year, I guess, but he was out of baseball pretty quick. Went 47 2/3 innings in his career. Chuck Churn. Johnny Clipstein, 4-0 that year. Carl Erskine passed away recently. Shout out to Carl's family. 0-3 that year, but he still got a ring, I suppose. And then Fred Kipp, 0-0. So an awesome little set as far as I'm concerned. It is a complete set of 40 cards highlighting the Los Angeles Dodgers team from 1959, released in 1980 by TCMA. I absolutely love my little sets. You guys know that. I am such a guy who wants to have every card of any set. So when I get an opportunity to snag a little thing like that, a little piece of history, I do so. So there you go. That's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please consider like, subscribing, commenting, all that jazz. I really do appreciate your support as I try my best to support everybody else in this great card community, all right? Come back again on Wednesday and Friday for more stuff. Hope to see you there. Take care.